Fighting with your best friend is not always the best thing in the world, and it could be for a multitude of reasons. There could be a secret that you never told her that's come up, you could be fighting over a boy, or in Ever's case, your best friend could be actually trying to kill you. In the 5th installment of the Immortals series by Alyson Noel, the book Night Star, Ever Bloom is trying to fight off her best friend Haven after she has turned her into an immortal and is angry at her for killing off her boyfriend Roman. Normally, when Ever encounters negative forces, she's able to rise above the adversity. But in this case, Haven is much more powerful than ever than she realizes, and it becomes much more difficult for her to be able to handle. Along with this, Ever's friend Jude is caught up in the middle as he is considered an accomplice to Roman's death, and it creates a much bigger barrier between her and Jude as she wants to protect him, but he feels he needs to protect her. Ever's relationship with her immortal boyfriend Damon suffers in this novel as well. Haven tells Ever of many things about Damon's past that he has not told her himself, and about the past lives that they shared together. And this creates its own barrier between Ever and Damon and makes their relationship much more questionable as the novel goes on. Now, like I said, this is the 5th installment of the Immortals series by Alyson Noel, so obviously I have read the other 4 books preluding to this one. So for those of you who are not familiar with this series, it's a story about a girl named Ever Bloom who is able to read the auras and minds of people, and she gains this ability after suffering a near-death experience when she gets into a car accident with her family. Unfortunately, all of her family dies, including her younger sister Riley, and she gains this ability to read auras and minds and has no idea how she gets it. Then she meets a boy named Damon who arrives at her school, who everyone is drooling over, but she feels this very strange connection because she is not able to read his mind or his aura. So obviously there's something up, and so she finds out that he's what's called an immortal and that he has a lot of history with her. And so the storyline for the rest of the series is basically them finding out things about each other, and a lot of things arise in their relationship that cause a lot of barriers, and this novel is just like the rest, where there's so much conflict that is involving their relationship and the relationship they have with other people. Now, the writing style of the novel is very simplistic, as well as the rest of the novels in this series. It's very simplistic, so it's very easy to read and very easy to understand. However, the things that are mentioned in this novel are very hard to understand if you are not familiar with the topics that are involved in this series. A lot of things dealing with psychic abilities, meditation, chakras, that sort of mystical-y kind of thing are very hard for people to understand who are not familiar with the whole psychic ability, meditation kind of thing itself. So if you're interested in reading this, you have to be able to understand those kind of things, but it's still very easy to actually understand as you read the novel, even if you're not really all that interested in the whole psychic abilities thing. It makes it easy for you to delve into and start to understand at least a little bit of what these things entail. As for the structure and pacing of the novel, this novel out of the entire series is the most well done because the structure of it was very much how you would expect the rest of the series to go. It was a very easy storyline. The pacing was incredibly well done as there were many climax points, but the build up to them was very well done, and then there was enough of a peaceful tone after the climax points to where you felt like things were getting a little bit more comfortable, and then all of a sudden another climax point happens, and it was not random in a bad way, but it left you kind of off guard, and you kind of felt like, oh my goodness, like now this is happening again, like oh my gosh, holy crap, what do we do kind of thing. So I thought that this was very well done as far as pacing. I have not seen very many novels that have done this, so props to Alyson Noel for really working with good pacing in this novel. But that's going to do it for my book review of Night Star by Alyson Noel of the Immortals series. I am so happy that I was able to pick this one back up because I haven't read this series in a long time, and I was really anxious to be able to see how the rest of it went. There is one last book in the series that I hope to get to soon, and that is Everlasting. I will be reading that in the future once I can get my hands on the book, so stay tuned for that book review. The next book I'll be reading for my book review is going to be Impulse by Ellen Hawkins. I absolutely love Ellen Hopkins's writing. She is probably one of my most favorite novel-style poets that I have ever read, because I just loved her entire Crank series. I loved her Tilt book that she wrote, and this is another book I've been really interested in reading because I've heard that this one was just as good as the rest of them, and I just cannot wait to see what this one entails. And as you guys can see, I have a new setup. I have moved into my room on my campus at school, and I'm finishing up my training for Safari. It's been going super well, but after Safari is done, I will be coming out with more and more videos for you guys. I promise. It's just so crazy right now. I have to do so much for this leadership conference. It's crazy. But thank you guys so much for sticking with me and being patient and enjoying my videos while I've been gone. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!